Hello, I'm Roger Cox. I'm the one and only, well, maybe I'm not the one and only Roger Cox. There's probably a few of us around, but I'm probably the most unique Roger Cox that you will ever meet. So anyway, I'm glad to have you on my video today. I'm hoping to give you some information that might help you out, and I'm talking about using capture pages to make your email list, and then the best way to get people to go to those capture pages. Now, in case you don't know what a capture page is, let me try to explain it the best I can. If you have a online business or a network marketing business, or even just a brick and mortar business, the lifeblood of your business are your customers or your potential customers. In other words, people that you have names and contact information for. That is really the lifeblood of your business. That is what brings you, the money, for your business. If you were to lose your business, but you still had your email list, your contact list of potential customers or people that have been customers in the past, you have not lost everything. In fact, you still have, like I said, the lifeblood of your business. With a contact list, you can start all over. And so it's very important if you're in a business, particularly, it's a hard word to say, particularly if you're in a network marketing business or an online business. The email list is critical. You have to have one of those, and it needs to be well maintained. So how do you develop your email list? Well, today I'm talking about capture pages. And capture pages are websites that you can offer something of value. There's maybe a small product or maybe some information, and you offer that free product on a web page. And when people go to that, there's usually a button that they click to get that information, and then it will ask them for their name and for their email address, and in some cases their phone number. But name and email addresses particularly. So they have to click on that button, and they have to give you their name and their email address in order to get the information, the free information that you are offering. And once they do that, that name and that email address goes in then to your customer relations manager or your autoresponder, and you start building your list. Because like I said, building the list is most important. So that's what a capture page is. It captures the person's name and their email address, and then it adds it to your email list or to your autoresponder. And so yesterday I was taking some training on how best to do that and how to actually get people to go to the capture page. Because let's face it, if you just have a capture page out there on the internet somewhere, how are people going to find it? How are they going to know about it? So you have to have a way to lead people towards your capture page so that you can get their email address. And we're talking about using Facebook in order to do that today. And there's some. So I just got just a few tips that I was able to glean from this training. I did write some notes. They're a little haphazard because I can't type it or write as fast as the guy's talking. So bear with me. This is going to be a little disjointed maybe because as I collect my thoughts. But this is what I learned. Okay. So how many times have you gone to a group on Facebook and you see, especially network marketing or online business Facebook groups, and time after time you see people saying, get this, buy this, and there's a link to go to their product. And it's the same way with their capture pages sometimes. Sometimes it's a big advertisement, and you can tell it's an advertisement, and you click on it, and it goes to their page, and it's very spammy in a lot of cases. And so yesterday I learned, and I'm going to share with you today, how to do that without being so spammy. How can you do that on Facebook and do it correctly? Okay. So here's the thing. I'm just going to give you a quick example. This is an example that this guy used. He actually used Instagram as his example because that's what he uses, and this is what he would put in a Facebook group. Okay. Quote: I just watched an incredible training on how to use Instagram to get leads for my business, and I'm so excited about what I just learned, and I'm going to begin using this training today to get more leads for my business, starting today. To the next 5 people that comment to me on this thread, I will give access to this training for free. Who wants to see it? End of quote. Now, notice what he did there. He did not give a link to his capture page. All he was doing was creating curiosity and telling people what he has to offer. And then it's up to them. If they have an interest, they come to him instead of him spamming his page on a Facebook group. If people aren't interested, they just scroll by. If they are interested, they come to him. And when they come to him, they're a very hot prospect because they've actually indicated, yes, I'm interested in this. I want to know more. So that's kind of the example. So let me just kind of break this down and talk about it a little bit. What the makeup of this is. So there's on Facebook, there's what they call spam groups. Okay, and you've seen them. You go in there, particularly if you're a network marketer. There's groups that you can join, and it's basically one person after another promoting their opportunity or their product. And some of them are legit, and some of them are not quite so legit. They're a little shady. So those don't usually work the best, for getting your email list. But there's some tips that you can use to use those groups. So, for example, I mentioned, you don't want to spam your product on these groups. You want to get them to come to you. So most of the people you see on there are going to be spamming, putting their product out or whatever. The key for you is to get to know those people, to build a relationship with them, and to gently suggest that there might be a better way. So how do you begin that process? Here's what he suggested. He says, if you see someone spamming in one of those groups, you can always comment on their post and say something like, hey, let's chat about your business. Now, if you do that to someone who's posted their ad on a Facebook group, what are they going to do? They're going to get in contact with you, because they're hungry. It may be that they haven't gotten a lead for a long, long time, and they're desperate for leads. So if you comment on there, say, hey, let's chat about your business, they are going to contact you. And when they do that, then you can begin chatting back and forth, and you have a relationship. You can talk to them about how their business is doing. You can talk to them about how do they go about getting leads, because as I mentioned, leads is the lifeblood of your online business. You got to have them. So you talk to them about how they're getting leads, and you ask them, well, how's that working for you? And some of them are going to lie to you and say, oh, it's working great, but it's going to start wheels turning in their head. And some of them will be honest and say, well, I'm trying this, it's not working very well. And so what does that do? That gives you the opportunity to explain to them how to do this better. And that's where I like this, because I'm in the business of teaching people how to do online training without spamming. I teach them how to market their products online and how to do it correctly. So when I find out that they are struggling with getting leads and they're looking for a better way of doing it, and that opens up the door to me, and I can suggest, hey, I got this training, it's free. You might want to take a look at it and see whether this is something that could help you. And notice if you do that, you've done that without spamming the whole group. You're relating to these people one-on-one. You're working with them one-on-one, which is what network marketing is. It's a relationship business. And so if they indicate, okay, let me back up just a little bit and get a little bit ahead of myself. So when you're talking to these people about a better way of doing it, you don't want to just send them the link. You don't want to do that. I mean, that sounds like the natural thing to do, but don't. Not at that point. You want to talk to them, build a relationship, and find out that they are really interested in learning how to build an online business and do it correctly. So you can then say, well, I've got this. When you get to that point, don't send them the link, but ask them the question. I've got this training that I can send you for free. If I send it to you, will you watch it? Will you take a look at it? And then they're going to say either yes or no. And if they say yes, then is the time that you send the link to them. You send the link to your training, which goes to your capture page, right? So they go to your capture page and they give you their name and their address, and then they're on your email list. And you can follow up with them. You can keep in touch with them. And then what you also want to do at that point is once they've said that they're interested and you're going to send the link to them, you might make it just a little, be a little more aggressive and say, well, when can you watch this? Because you really are looking for the serious ones. You're not looking for the ones who are just kind of blowing you off, trying to get rid of it. So you find out when they might look at it. Or you say something to the effect of, as soon as you finish, I'd like to get your thoughts. Message me back. Okay? So that's one way you can get your information to your capture page to people. You go in these groups. You can find people who are doing it incorrectly. You can private message them and just start talking to them about their business, how it's working for them when they're just sending a link out and just kind of hoping someone will respond. Ask them how it's doing, and then you can go into, if it's not doing well, then you can develop the relationship and give them a better way of doing it, and you build your email list that way. That's another example that he made is sometimes there are some more professional Facebook groups out there who don't allow spamming, or they don't allow people posting their links and stuff. They're very controlled, and there's things that you can do there as well, because if you spam in those groups or you give your link, there's a good chance that you're going to get deleted from the group, or at least get your post deleted at the best. So here's one example that he used, that he gave, and I'm actually using part of this, and I just started that today, and we'll see how that works. So if you're in a group that's highly moderated and they're weeding out spam, they're very particular about the posts that go in. Here's an example of something that you could write, something that you could do. You can say, is anyone using Facebook Live yet to grow their biz? If you are not following and this is the group admin's name. If you're not following Joe Blow, you need to add him right now. And then you give the admin's address. Now what this does is it alerts the group operator, the group administrator, that you're putting a post out there, and you're being transparent. And if it's a post that doesn't meet their requirements, they're more likely to just explain to you the rules of the group, and maybe just delete the post rather than deleting you and rebanning you from the group. Because if a lot of people will do that, you can get banned very easily by posting inappropriate posts. So this is one way of checking with the admin that he's alerted to it, and he knows that you're trying to obey the group's rules, and they'll probably let the post, you get along better with the whole group. And if the post is not appropriate, they can delete it rather than deleting you. Okay? So again, is anyone using Facebook Live yet to grow their biz? If you're not following Jackie Johnson, you need to add him right now. You can go and say, I've been using Facebook for a month and I'm loving it. I've just watched a training on using Facebook Live to grow my business. If anyone wants to watch it, let me know and I'll shoot the information over to you. And again, what does that do? You're not giving your link out directly, but it's requiring people to respond to you. They're coming to you, and once they do that, you know that there is some interest there, that they are going to be more likely to want to be talking to you. Okay. Now, if that sounds a little long to you, that particular example, here's a real short version you can use. Is anyone using Facebook to grow their business? I've watched a training on using Facebook. If anybody wants to watch it, let me know and I'll shoot it over to you. And that's it. That's all you put out there. You don't put the link. You just put those simple words. And the people who really are interested will contact you. And let's face it, if people contact you asking for information, they're a lot easier to talk to. I mean, your courage, you're not so afraid to talk to them if they're actually coming to you and asking you for the information. As opposed to you're going out and trying to find people who may not have an iota of interest in what you're doing. This is a lot easier. And this is the way the 6- and 7-figure people grow their business. This is the way they do it. And it's the way that you should be thinking about doing it as well. So again, when they comment on your post about the training, don't give out the link right away. Here's something else that you might want to do. Don't give the link out right away to them. You might say something like, I saw you just commented and would like to get access to the training. Are you there? And you're doing this through a private message. You're not doing this right on the group. You're doing this through a private message to the person. So that might be a little confusing. Let me back up and just kind of go over that again. So when you put when you ask people if they want to watch this training, they're going to comment. Okay, and you can say, comment below if you want to see, the training that I have. They're going to comment. Then you want to move it over to a private messaging, and you can put in there. You can tag Jane so and so and say, Jane so and so, I'm sending you a private message, and then you go to their private message box, and then you write in there something to the effect of, I just saw that you commented and would like to get access to the training. Are you there? Again, you don't want to give the link right there. You want to have a chance to talk to them. You want to keep control of the conversation for a while until you feel comfortable that they really are interested in seeing your training and will actually watch it if you send it to them. Because the training is, anyway, the training that I have, and I'm assuming your training is the same, is valuable stuff. You don't want to just give out valuable stuff to people who are not interested, who are just going to disregard it, and you don't want to do that. You want to give it to people who will respect the value that you are giving. So I've kind of gone through my notes. I hope that was helpful to you. Let me know, if this is helpful to you or not. If you want to find out more about how this works, if you want to find out more about my training, here I'm using the process. If you want to know more about how to use Facebook on your groups, let me know, and I'll shoot the information to you. I'm Roger Cox. I'm with RogerCox.net, or you can also go to my Facebook page, which is Roger Cox 246. And also my business page is Health and Freedom with Roger Cox. I hope you have a great day and make it happen. We'll talk to you later. Bye.